Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Thursday night, regularly scheduled hostilities with your host, Chuck Winchester, Yvonne DeBoard, and the current RSH champion up until WrestleMania, but only until WrestleMania, Josh DeBoard. What's going on, guys?
I'm not answering to that.
Like Karrion Kross, your time is TikTok.
Oh,
Angel's coming in hot.
Talk.
I have as much to say as Angel does.
Who's in the blue hell is Angel? And why are we getting white pallets from Angel?
What's up, Del Rio?
Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate all of you. So yeah, it is. We are right into the WrestleMania season, dude. We are right after Fastlane.
Yep,
We're Raw behind, dude. We got all kinds of shit going on. So
they announced like 58 matches on Raw this week.
Dude, at least I thought it was more like 64. Dude, it's crazy. So are you doing the banners? Are you back in control?
We're good for now.
All right. So guys, just so you guys know, breaking the 16th wall here. We are in the brand new RSH studio, but don't worry, this colored stuff only temporary because the studio is currently still under construction, and we got some stuff in store. So be tuned and keep watching.
Just think of it as AEW, except it's not going to take us 5 years to fix it.
Oh, it's already on. It's already on order. Just depends how Amazon treats us.
I tuned in a little bit. I tuned in a little bit last night, and I had a very peaceful sleep.
Hell yeah. So guys, but before we get going into Fastlane, into Raw, Del Rio, into, he's still hanging out with Alberto. Don't let him lie to you. We did have an awesome presence last night, man. We hung out with Jason Dugan, the current Rapid Fire champion over at ARW, man. They are live every Thursday nights, 8 p.m. over at Fight TV. Be sure to go back, listen to that interview. It was a pretty awesome time, man. He's got some wrestling knowledge. He's got some moves.
He did.
Smart guy. Look forward to having him on when he wins, a belt as prestigious as ours.
Absolutely. I mean, the time may come if he wants. I feel like he's taking on the Pope here, and that championship, he may have another one in store, but there's nothing more prestigious than the RSH heavyweight title.
It's fair. Which segues into triple threat at Mania. I'll retain, and then we'll come up with other ways to try to sack it against me.
This isn't a spoiler, like I just said. TikTok or time.
We'll go with that. All right.
Listen, guys, my light is relit. Because there is one thing, I don't think we've announced it yet, but we have officially decided to retire. Have we announced this already?
We're unifying.
Oh, that's right. You already have Undisputed on there. I'm not even drinking tonight, guys. Don't worry about that. But
that's when you're off.
Chuck's a little bit off tonight. He did not drink it.
That's why.
But so Undisputed unification of the titles, and that relights Chuck's fire. That relights the fight that Chuck brings. So be ready. Follow RSH on TikTok. You're going to see all kinds of nonsense, including live.
Yeah, we'll go live on mine.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, so we already have a question before we went live. I don't have an issue with it.
I don't either.
He's big, like as far as wrestlers from India go, he's probably the biggest they've ever had. He had a pretty respectable run. I mean, he fought Cena, Undertaker, Rey Mysterio. He was world champion. I don't really have an issue with hell. Even his fucking when he danced around gimmick was pretty damn entertaining. And he, opened the doors for like Gender and the Bollywood boys. So I'm okay with it. There's worst ways. There's less deserving people in the Hall of Fame.
I agree with that for sure. I want to say he brought up, what's his name? Because that's just not something that I'd, brag about. The guy you just said. What's
Gender?
Gender, yeah.
Gender.
The guy who owned Randy Orton for a whole year.
Don't remind me. That's in the past.
Don't worry. He'll be back.
I don't want to hold that against him or anything. But you're right. There was less deserving people in there. Does it do anything for me? Not really.
He's not the headliner. Kane was Kane's going to be NWO is going to be the headliner because Batista said he's going to wait until down the road. He wants full capacity kind of thing, which I get. So it's going to be NWO / Kane because Kane's just as big of a headliner to me as the NWO is.
Sure. So, yeah, I'd agree. Kane's pretty fucking awesome. I like Kane.
That'd be cool. Hopefully Taker inducts him, which I'm assuming he will.
I was cool. So too. Yeah, he's just he's my favorite when I was a child back in the late 90s. Dude, Kane was my guy. Yep. So it's cool to see him get that recognition that he definitely deserves. If he's over there in the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee,
It is.
right now.
That'll be interesting. He's running for re-election too.
Is that right?
We were talking about him being in the Hall of Fame. Actually, I was like recently, and he's in. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Got announced on the bump.
He did.
Undertaker actually got to tell him. I was listening to Corey Graves' podcast yesterday when I was running, and he actually got to break it the news to Eric Bischoff.
Oh,
no,
nice.
He was inducted. So that was pretty cool. Bischoff was like, "Wait, what?" So it was pretty cool. It's a very respectable class, and like I don't have any issues with Cully in it. It's not like they're pushing him as the headliner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care enough to get mad about it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, I'm sure if I went back and watched some Cully stuff and be like, okay, he wasn't as bad as I think the perception of him's worse than than he actually was.
I don't remember much of his career after his debut.
He almost popped in the street.
I remember you saying that.
He did.
I remember he debuted against Taker, and Taker was like, whoa. He was in that very first like weird bamboo Kawasabi match or whatever they called it. And it didn't really do much after that. But I just don't remember much after that. I remember he had to fight Hornswoggle a few times for that awe factor back in like 2009. But
right there, look.
Oh, that's squeezing. Yeah, he is crushing that head. Poor
That move
Mysterio.
was very hard to watch.
He's had his head squeezed. He's had his eyeball popped out. Like the dude just can't hang.
There's a picture where he's like bleeding, but yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of other. Look, Del Rio, we don't got time for your nonsense. What opportunity for what he's cashing in? His opportunity for the title.
Who what?
You don't have one. 4-way dance.
Nobody even knows who you are. I thought Alberto Del Rio was in
the title
jail.
opportunity to a 4-way dance.
I mean, Alberto was in jail for like abuse, so I'm not sure.
I don't think he's in jail yet. I think he's still out. But anyway, let's get to Fastlane. I guess we'll start with the picture we post when we start promoting our show. So the two biggest things that happened was Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, where Roman Reigns actually did tap out, but the ref was out and Edge was out, and Edge flipped his shit, beat the shit out of everybody, ran off. Yep. Roman got the win after Edge just beat the living hell out of both of them with a chair.
Which we knew that was going to happen.
I think it's more inevitable than ever. This is going to be a triple threat.
Edge.
And it's not going to be a popular take. This is detrimental to Edge.
Think so?
He can't sell. He goes to NXT, rating drops. First match on SmackDown in 10 years, rating dropped. I mean, Edge is not a guy you're going to put at the front and middle of a poster and going to sell out an arena. He never was that guy when he wrestled. He had a great run. He's a Hall of Famer. He's already in the Hall of Fame, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So, like, he's had a great career, but he's not John Cena. He's not Roman Reigns. He's not even Triple H. He's not going. The ratings don't tell you everything, but they tell you some things. And Edge isn't that guy. This match needs Daniel Bryan. It's unfortunate, but this match, Roman versus Edge by itself, isn't enough. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. I would say back in January, they were going to have Roman Reigns booked as to lose to Edge. But, since then, Edge hasn't sold. And they've had to add Daniel Bryan in last minute. You said last week that you saw that Vince McMahon tore up the WrestleMania script, so it's completely different now. They need D. Bryan to sell it. And like I said, 3 weeks ago, Edge was probably booked to win. That could easily have changed by now. Yep. So
I don't see a world change as of right this second. I do not see one world title changing at WrestleMania. I don't see either.
I don't either.
It's hard, man. Like
but I see both women's.
I do too.
Changing.
Yep.
Like I think Bianca would go over Sasha, and I think Rhea would go over Asuka. Asuka's run's been so lackluster anyway. Might as well put it in. It's bad. It's a bad look for Rhea to fight at Mania back-to-back years and lose to Charlotte and Asuka in consecutive years. That'd be a bad look. Exactly. But this match needs Daniel Bryan, and that was a very good match. That was about 35 minutes. Those two are really good together. Reigns and Bryan's had a long history.
We knew Edge was going to get involved. His emotion. Well, yeah. I don't even think he even saw Roman. I don't even think he cared.
They did it. He was out.
I don't think he cared. He's one.
I do like how the ref casually runs out after all that shit happens. Like, dude, where were you 5 minutes ago? He's tapping, but whatever. Good match.
Edge just didn't care.
It did what it was supposed to do. The question was, is it inevitable that Bryan gets added? I think so.
I think so.
I think he fights Edge on a SmackDown or an Uso or something like that. And if he wins, he gets in. Or Adam Pearce is like, he's in.
Yep.
Here's you tapping, Roman. What the hell? I'm the head of the table. You're tapping. Like,
Well,
I don't care who
Daniel
you are.
Bryan
You're
can come
you're
out and play
tapping.
that clip like, oh, did you just tap?
He's added.
Yeah, he's
There's
gonna be
nothing
added.
else for him to
No.
do unless there's nothing. I can't even justify getting him to NXT to challenge Pete Dunne, who wants to fight the best technical wrestler. You can't book it fast enough because Takeover's stacked and Dunne's booked. So
I agree. He's in it.
do you think they're leaving Daniel Bryan off WrestleMania?
No.
So-
Especially when he's already been involved in this feud and
Yeah.
he directly took a hit from Edge on Fastlane.
Yeah.
He's in it.
And Edge theoretically cost him the championship.
He did.
Absolutely.
So,
If he would have counted it,
very good story.
very good.
Vince, kudos to ripping up the script so far. This is very, very good.
And he made Roman Reigns tap too.
Yes,
So
I
he
mean, there's
proves that
something
he
to be
can do
told
it.
there. It's going to be good. I think that's night 2 because we're hanging out night 1. So we'll go down the card later. The second biggest thing,
Oh boy.
Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. They did it pretty well. Shit falling from the sky. I dug it. Shit's falling from the sky. She's marching around the ring. He starts coughing that black shit up right off the bat. And then the hand comes out from under the ring. Kane-esque. Grabs his foot. It's a great thing to use for memes right now. By
Do
the
you
way.
know another wrestler besides the Fiend that did pull the person under the ring? Kane did that.
That's what I said.
Oh, did you?
God,
I mean,
blondes.
Kane's done it.
Hey, I
Taker's
wrote
done
it.
it. Yeah.
I apologize. Women with blonde hair, it's just
It's true, but hush.
But hush.
But hush.
So Fiend returns. He's all burnt he's burnt. Mask is still somewhat there, but he looks. What are your guys' thoughts? I think he looks fucking nuts.
He does.
Go ahead, Yvonne.
He looks insane.
Do me a
He's
favor.
working with your boy.
Tell us your opinion and get closer to the mic.
Closer.
He's working with your boy that developed the Michael Myers mask. Tim's
Yeah, I know he said he
Tim
did like
Salvia, something like that.
yeah, he did
He's
like all
like
those
best
masks.
friends with him, so it looks legit. That's movie quality shit.
The mask actually reminded me a lot, especially watching Raw. I didn't notice that Fastlane, but watching Raw, if you look at his face, like especially in that light, it looked a lot like the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Except the way the face is melted and you see the
Yeah.
cheeks and stuff.
I
So-
saw a video of Bray hanging out in his little studio, and it's fucking nuts. Oh, there's like thousands of masks everywhere. It's
That's
like it's
really
pretty
cool.
badass. All right, go ahead. My bad.
I said he just looked insane.
That's it. That's very knowledgeable insight right there. I feel like we're watching Mainline.
Well,
Yeah.
I forgot my words because what the heck?
I understand.
It's still better than Cage My IQ. Anyway,
I think it looks very Halloween Kills esque, because the last Halloween, Michael Myers is getting burnt.
I got Michael Myers vibes.
Yep. And in Halloween Kills was supposed to come out last year, but it didn't because of COVID. But obviously his mask is going to be burnt because that movie ended with him being burnt. Spoiler alert.
What if they used the same mask?
That'd be badass.
That would be cool.
I'd be like, look at Halloween ripping off Bray.
He has teeth now. What the fuck? So they did a good job because you've seen him burn, and even he looks slimmer to me, which we kind of talked about before we went on the air. And so that when you burn, your fucking flesh burns,
Yeah, literally.
Right.
and he
It
just
does.
looks thinner. He looks like he just got burnt.
He looks insane.
I think they did a phenomenal
They
job.
did.
It's a little much for like professional
That's
wrestling.
what Brady wants.
But
This is the E part.
right. Yeah.
This is the entertainment.
And I love
spectrum of
that.
it.
I want to ask you guys this too. I was thinking about it when I was watching the match at Fastlane. I was thinking this is probably the easiest night of Randy Orton's in-ring career because he's going out there, but he's not going to have an actual match with Alexa Bliss.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking about it. It's actually probably the hardest because he has to act everything when he can just go.
I would assume it's the
autopilot.
hardest. So I watched the Broken Skull sessions Monday with him and Stone Cold.
Right.
So if you guys have not saw that, it runs a tad bit long.
Well,
It really
that-
does. They start taking shots at Jack at the beginning. They're like, only a few, but like the end they've had like 5 or 6, and but it's awesome because Orton talks about, like we were talking about him last year about how his promos are so good, but he's like, for the first 10 years of my career, I was complete shit on the mic, and they would tell me that. Dusty told me that. All these guys told me like, you're great, you have everything else, we're going to keep pushing you, but your mic's going to suck.
Yeah.
So he worked really hard on it. So for him last night, it's almost like validation for all the shit he's worked for, Sunday at Fastlane. It's like validation because like he didn't have to sell a move outside of Sister Abigail. And the selling of the lights falling and all the shit happening around him was very good. I would agree that it would be more difficult than selling a bump.
Sure. Especially with Randy Orton. He's been doing this for how many years now?
Yeah, he's in kind of autopilot in the good way. In the good way.
Oh, sure. He still moves.
He even says in his interview with Stone Cold, he's like, yeah, I checked that about for 5 years there. Stone Cold, like, I noticed.
We all know.
I guess Stone Cold had called him out years ago.
Was that right?
And Randy was like, fuck this guy. So this was like one of the first times these guys have actually, he's like, bro, I'm surprised you invited me on your damn podcast. Like, it was the first time. If you guys haven't saw it, it's very,
I'll check it out.
It runs,
It was good.
It's a good hour and 40 minutes. Like, it's fucking long.
I'll probably listen to it in the car.
It's pretty solid.
It is good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I was just thinking, it's crazy how, like, you would think just walking around the ring, I mean, watching Alexa Bliss, whew, that'd be a good time. She has to sell that, though. You know?
Why there's not many people right now. The way she sat on his lap, I would sell.
Oh
man. I'd be like, I need to redo this, guys. I fucked that up.
I do like Randy Orton's wife tweeting. That's like, man, it's still rude to me, damn it. I get it. I can respect it.
I saw Randy Orton was like, my wife really doesn't like Alexa Bliss.
I don't blame her.
I came out of this like a huge, between that, his work over the last year, the podcast. To me, he's very likable. So goes like, what are you, a fucking heel or what? He's like, I'm whatever I need to be with whoever I'm fighting. With Drew,
right.
I was a heel. With Bray, I'm kind of supposed to be the face, but
in between,
everybody loves Bray because he's badass.
I mean, if you catch a guy on fire, are you really a good guy?
He loves working with Bray. Everybody just has glowing things to say about Bray. Like everybody. Like fucking, I heard douchebag on AEW neck tap. Cody talking about how great he is. Like everybody loves Bray. Jericho. But I'm looking forward to this in Mania. I'm slightly disappointed it's on night 2 because we won't be watching it together.
Yeah.
But both nights look like it's going to be stacked. I loved it. I loved what they did on Monday, which I know we'll touch on a little bit later. Just keep it going. Orton's going to try to set him on fire. He knows it's an RKO and just gets up like, dude, no.
He already tried it.
And he heard you bitching last year and had Alexa point at the damn sign this year.
That's way better because that still is so fucking dumb.
It's like Firefly Funhouse is so great. Yeah, and you would have won that.
Yeah, that's what happens. I know everything when I'm not my points don't matter.
Yeah, non-title. It's like whatever. So we'll skip through this. The Braun and Elias thing. We'll talk more about that on Raw. Seth and Shinsuke was very, very good. It did what it was supposed to do. The question is, what's next for Seth? It's obviously going to be Cesaro, right?
Took him out.
I mean, yeah, they've already set that up. It's going to be Cesaro.
Nakamura was Cesaro's partner there for a while, so he beat up his partner. Cesaro tweeted something, I think, afterwards, like, because Seth said something backstage, like, this is a message to Cesaro, and he's like, message received. So there you go.
I mean, yeah, Rollins jumped him already. They've had that little feud, and then now they're just not dragging it out.
This is going to be Cesaro's moment. This match is going to be like fucking, it's going to be fantastic.
Dude, they're going to burn it down.
I think Cesaro is going to get over.
They're going to burn it down.
And
I don't know if he's necessarily going to win. It's funny. If you guys looked at the Mania poster, do you guys realize that Seth is like in the A? Like this, but he's like this fucking little.
He's little.
He posted on Twitter. He goes, "Yes, I'm on the poster." And he's literally like,
little.
It's so fun. I had no idea he was on the poster.
I did not either. Funny. At least Charlotte's not on there anymore at all. So
yeah, she got COVID. Yeah, I'll rant about that here. I'm actually going to defend Charlotte here in a few minutes.
Charlotte's awesome.
Don't piss me off to where I don't do it.
She would destroy everybody.
That was a selling point. Stop.
Should be too for a title.
I will skip the tag team title match because that was absolute shit. Big E and Apollo was just a setup to see them at Mania, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it. Hey, we're going to get KO and Zayn, it looks like, at Mania. I hope that's night 1.
That'd be fun.
Because we're either going to get Seth and Cesaro on night 1 or KO and Zayn, because they'll definitely need a split. Because you're going to have title, tag title. They'll split that evenly. So we're going to get good shit on both nights. Not a lot to talk about there. I'm digging Apollo. Like, if you can get over like the exit, you don't like it, whatever. What he's been doing is most relevant since he's been there. It's nice to see him in a primetime spot. And he looks badass.
He does look badass.
So
but I'm telling you, it's a shitty gimmick, and that's going to cost him in the long run. I mean, they're pushing the hell out of him. He's owning it. He's doing a good job. But it's already getting I'm just telling you,
he's supposed to be annoying,
but it's not in a good annoying. It's in a I'm going to turn off the TV annoying way. Like how with Credible last week we talked about how Triple H
go home or go home.
Go home. Yeah, and that's what this gimmick is going to be if it continues post WrestleMania. I'm just saying.
That's what we were talking about Roman's tribal chief thing. It's like
No, that's never going to end.
That's a good heat.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, that's good heat. That's making you really hate Roman Reigns. It makes you not care about Roman Reigns. It makes you hate Roman Reigns, and that's the difference.
Drew and Sheamus. It was another great match. Sheamus didn't win, but he definitely didn't look weak in the match at all. It was very good. He got slammed to a fucking LED board.
That's always fun.
You can tell they're leaving Tropicana, can't you? They're fucking destroying it. Like, we're about to go to another arena, so let's completely fuck this one up.
Dude, I could watch Sheamus and McIntyre all the time. Mm-hmm. They just beat the hell out of each other.
Well, we just watched them like 4 times straight weeks.
And
I wasn't bitching either.
Yeah, it was really
It's like when we were watching New Day fight the Usos, I feel like every other week, I was cool with it because those guys were absolutely amazing together.
It's fun, and they do new shit every time.
Every fucking time. I hope the Usos are back for Mania. I don't think Jimmy's ready, unfortunately, because I feel like we've seen him sacrifice himself for Jay at Rumble. No, TLC-ish when they did that I Quit match.
Gotcha.
But he was still bandaged up and whatever. So I don't think Jay's ready, but I'm excited for the Usos to be back, which to me, fuck a Young Buck. The Usos are the best tag team in the world to me. I watched them in the New Day work to where they're never going to be at a pre-show ever again.
I'll never say anything.
They made it to where you can never, ever book them on another pre-show.
I hope so. They
haven't been on one since.
That's good.
And that was a couple years ago.
They haven't really been paying attention, I guess.
But you know who was on the pre-show? Retribution.
Yeah, and didn't they
they got attacked?
They turned on. I did not see this.
Yeah, so you don't watch the pre-show.
I read about it.
Listen, you're going to have to watch the pre-show for WrestleMania. Jesus.
I mean, I guess I can turn it on while I go do shots or something.
There you go. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Well, I got something to do.
We'll hang, we'll talk to Bennett. We'll see how much, what sidewalks he's poured lately, shit like that. Has he had any more kids? How's life?
That's the big question.
Hey, listen.
Has he had any more kids?
With it being tax time and stimulus time, all the food's on Bennett. It was like 1,400 times his 10 kids.
Yeah, that's
he's
good stimulus.
He's making bank right there. Dirt sheets approved. Dirty Heels approved. All right.
Dirty Heels approved.
Appreciate it.
I dig it, man. Thanks for watching, man. I like some Dirty Heels.
Yeah, we had a pretty good one on last night. Dugan, he's like, I'm a heel.
Yeah, he's
like, yeah,
Dugan's a good guy. I definitely like to watch his heel work, his dirty heel moves.
So yeah, sounds pretty good. We got too Fastlane in 25. There's a lot, you guys, coming up the next couple weeks. We were talking off air. Got 2 nights of NXT, which Chuck's actually going to watch because his boy Walter has a prominent match in it now.
You can't be excited. You can't not be excited for Walter versus Ciampa.
Yeah.
Because Ciampa will take those chops. You know what I mean?
Ciampa's fought big dudes before.
Yeah, he's good at it.
They match up well, surprisingly, because Ciampa's a little dude, but Ciampa's like
he's ripped.
He's a big, he's a huge guy.
Not to sound like a fucking nerd, but he's like one of them hobbits. Like he's short, but he does look like one. He's ripped.
He has like an 8-pack.
He is a fighter. He is proportionate, and he will destroy a motherfucker. So I dig it.
Well, and Matt Yvonne was right about Fastlane with Sasha and Bianca.
Yeah, the one we skipped over. Sorry.
Hey, that was my moment.
It was a terrible match.
It was terrible. I knew they would lose. Sasha actually slapped her in the face.
I see what they're doing.
That's the Sasha that I called last week.
That build's been terrible.
Yeah, I feel like the story would be better if they were tag team champions.
You have the two. It could be. So now all the heat right now is because it's not main eventing night 1, which it doesn't make a difference to me. I guess it does. It's women. It'd be the first African American women main event in history of professional wrestling or whatever.
I don't get bogged down in that, man.
But all the fans are pissed because Lashley and Drew. It's I'm okay with it, but it is what it is.
That's one a good story. The
story's not been good. They have a couple more weeks,
sure,
but it's been rough.
And they're both really good. So it's poor writing. That's the only excuse here.
The mistake they did was teaming them together. It was never ever.
WWE shows the same tendency. It's like you go back to Rock and but Austin and was it Shawn that teamed up together years of fucking ago, and they fought each other at Mania and they were tag champs. WWE just has a tendency to.
I don't know about that.
It was Stone Cold and somebody. I'll check.
It might have been Triple H because he's teamed with Triple H as the power trip.
I was listening to it. I'll figure it out.
It was all terrible.
I mean, it's weird. I forgot David Otunga and John Cena were tag champions at one point.
They technically were because John Cena was like under contract to work with Barrett because he lost that match. But that doesn't really count.
I'll get confirmation
when
later.
Sasha slapped her and Bianca just looked at her, I'm like, you ain't gonna knock her teeth out. Someone slapped me like that, I should be on the floor. Like, Bianca didn't do nothing. She just went like this. I'm like, how awful. Like, that's an embarrassment.
Well, it's just her showing the high road of that's fine. You can smack me right now, but that belt will be mine come WrestleMania.
I know it was an awful match, but I'm just gonna. I called it.
That's all that matters. As long as you call it, man.
I knew Sasha's heelish was going to
your
start.
belt looks nice.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway,
that's coming.
Let's go to Raw.
Maybe.
Sheamus lost to Lashley again. He didn't look bad again, but he didn't win.
Sheamus never looks bad.
But like it's like his 6th straight loss. So
it was like a heel lose.
Yeah, he went on Raw Talk afterwards and started screaming about how it should be a triple threat. And it's like, all right, listen.
You have one of those.
I mean, granted, it's different nights. I guess that would match up. Be like triple threat for the Raw.
It's annoying though.
But he attacked Riddle backstage, smacked him in the gut with his scooter. So I feel like maybe Riddle and Sheamus is going to be where we go.
Sure.
You guys cool with that?
That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, I like Riddle a lot. I'm glad to see him on the card. So, Sheamus kicks ass every time, too. So
as he's on the ground holding his side or his butt, he's like, what'd I say? Was it something I said, bro? And I'm like,
May 26th. They held him twice, actually.
It's got to be in the 90s.
Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold fought at Mania, and they were the fucking tag champions.
Oh, at 97?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize they were tag team champions during that. Is that one?
That's the old dude. He was tag champion with Dude Love.
I did know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that one. I don't remember him and
he was tag champions with Mike fucking Tyson.
Wow.
Oh, I remember that.
Mike Tyson likes Stone Cold. I think he did.
Triple H.
I remember Triple H. They're the power trip.
His last belt he ever had was he beat Kurt Angle for the what we call our Wednesday night championship.
You guys, you have to remember the power trip.
I do.
That's when they came out and beat the shit out of Lita with a steel chair.
What is WWE's thing with having you put the tag titles on guys that are already doing shit? Like Bianca and Sasha shouldn't. Like we know they have the Riot Squad.
We know they.
You have Natalia and Tamina, who's been kicking people's ass the last few weeks. So, I mean, apparently they're doing something there.
Because Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit about the tag team titles.
So he uses why the fuck do you have them?
So he uses them to enhance single competitors, which makes no sense, but he's done it for years.
I mean, I don't know. He apparently loves Nia and Shayna. They're on every goddamn show. They've been on every pay-per-view. They were on NXT.
Josh loves Nia and Shayna.
I think they were probably on WWE Superstars. That's still a fucking thing. Or WWE Main Event or whatever the hell their undercard thing is that we'd always go and get beer during the live event.
That's one thing we talked about on this show is how they tag team. They just throw stuff together. They take like Sasha and Bianca, for example, top stars, throw them together, try to make it work, and it doesn't, and they just ruin it.
Well, let's get to something that I think is going to work. And they debuted Rhea Ripley as about as good as you fucking could. She comes out, challenges Asuka. Asuka says, "You're not ready," points at the sign. It's made. It's night 2. Another disappointment. I would rather that been night 1, but whatever. Rhea versus Asuka.
I'm going to be the enemy here, but I couldn't care less. Couldn't care less about these chicks.
This is where you not watching NXT
I don't care.
Hurting you.
Exactly.
I just don't care. I remember her last year, too, at WrestleMania.
And it was great.
We get it. Like she's come out there, oh, I'm a big, tough girl. Yeah. Okay. I just don't care. Asuka has been relevant in 2 years. So
Asuka's been very relevant. You don't watch NXT.
Asuka has been
Asuka, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Rhea's like, dude, fuck
you. She got hurt. She recently got hurt, but now she's back.
She got her teeth literally kicked out.
Literally before that, she beat everybody on the Raw's division.
I know. I'm not saying
they're running out of people.
I'm not saying they're not pushing Asuka. I'm just saying they're not doing storytelling that captivates me to give a shit.
Well, this is where Rhea's going to take the belt.
I'm sure she'll be my pick. Yeah, she'll be my pick. Absolutely.
Her time is now.
Yeah, I just don't care.
My time is now.
And I haven't watched NXT that so I really don't know her background all that much. But I remember her last year.
Your life's going to change when that shit moves to Tuesday.
I'm sure it won't. If I was a bet man, I would say she's going to be like a tough girl, tough chick, have my belt, and just stand like this a lot.
You're going to be like, no. I think you're like still in Justice League mode where like, oh, we made a good movie.
They did make a good
Somebody
movie.
Told me it was better than Endgame. I about lost my shit.
Oh, no. I never.
Completely off topic, by the way, but I about flipped my shit.
It's not fair to compare the two. They're different, very different styles.
Oh, no, he was like, I'll never watch an Endgame again. It makes Endgame shit. And I was like, all right, I'm going to smash something over your face.
That's just him being pretentious. But
he said he watched it 5 times. I was like, that's 20 hours of your life, bro.
Wow.
And this was Friday. It's like, what did you wake up at like the crack of dawn when it came out and just keep it on repeat?
Well, I mean, technically, it did come out. Apparently, it debuted at 2 a.m. So there is 2 hours to spare if you watch it 5 times in a row.
I like the in-game too.
All right. Speaking of in-game, Fiend attacks Randy Orton, challenges him at WrestleMania. Does Orton even have a shot? He no-sold the RKO, popped right back up. Like, what gimmick do they do for this match? Because it's not going to be straight up.
It's got to be. I could see this one being a Firefly.
Could that just be Bray's new thing at Mania, where he puts people through the Firefly Funhouse every year?
It could be.
And every year we look forward to it. Like, who does he get now?
I would rather that be the case. I don't want to see another in-ring match. We've seen enough.
It could be the new Undertaker kind of gimmick thing.
Like, he's
the dark character. Every year he takes somebody. Hell, you can utilize the swamp match like you did with Braun. Mm-hmm. You could just use that different shit. Yeah. They tried it with Matt Hardy. That's what happens when something connects with the fans. Unlike your stupid delete shit. It didn't even work in AEW. Stop. He's on like his 8th gimmick.
He's a fucking hater over here, man.
He's on like his 8th. Now he's Big Money Matt.
Now he's Big Matt.
Now he's on Big Money Matt.
Talking shit about Matt Hardy.
He's Big Money Matt now. He is and Cameron Grimes is doing it better on NXT than he is. So hey, Matt, delete that one and try another.
Man.
Delete did not work, and they gave it a shot.
It was really annoying.
Well, they even put Bray with them, and Bray couldn't get that shit over.
Weren't they tag champions together?
Yeah,
they tried. They like pre WrestleMania carded it as the tag team champions.
Matt won the fucking Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Matt did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
That's when Bray joined them.
Do we see this feud between the Fiend and Orton ending?
Yes, Mania's it.
It's got to be it.
It's got to be it.
Yeah.
So I think after Mania, I think Bray and Jeff Hardy feud.
Jay and Jeff Hardy.
Bray and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, Bray. That'd be makes sense. Yeah. If they said Jeff makes sense.
He can use his Willow character like he's wanted to because Jeff's not doing anything. He'll be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I'm sure.
Yeah. Jeff just got fucking beat by The Miz.
Yeah.
He did, didn't he?
That was interesting. That's wrong. I'm really wrong topic here.
We are.
But, fair enough. But we're still
yeah. So we got to talk about Bad Bunny.
Oh, no.
So he got challenged by The Miz. So
such a waste
one,
of
are you
time.
happy that it's not a tag team?
I'm happy for that.
I'm happy that it's finally going to be over after WrestleMania. I can stop using the goddamn name Bad Bunny.
You realize I'm going to get the most obnoxious shirt from WWE Shop to wear.
That's a great way to waste your fucking money.
You better turn it inside out. We don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I've bought worse.
If you just, you basically just, if you just took your money, put it on your hand, and pissed on it, that's a better waste of money because at least it prevents some piss from hitting your hand. That's a better way to use your money. But whatever you want to do with Bad Bunny, that's on you.
So when you come around us, make sure it's inside out. We don't want to see that.
He's literally going to be done.
He's got chains and shit too. I'm getting those as well.
If he would change his hair,
I might grow my hair out to where I can put bunny ears up.
That just
pigtails.
People like you is what keeps WWE doing this.
No, I
nonsense.
wasn't around when they were doing this. I wasn't born. They were doing this shit.
I'm glad it's not a tag
They do it every
match,
year.
But I don't like Priest being in his manager. I hate that.
Priest is not his manager. It's just
he might as well be his manager. That's what's sad about it. Yeah, it technically is.
That's not what Priest is.
Priest is going to be fine.
I don't know about that.
I think Priest will be a guy you see feud with last year after Mania.
I want Priest to turn on.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I know, but I wish.
He's not going to turn.
Priest might win.
That's not going to happen.
Priest honestly would be my favorite right now to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I would dig that too
because they typically give it to like Corbin came up, he won it, and then. They typically give it. They try to give it to the new up and coming guy. I know Braun when he first busted onto the scene, he won it. They gave it to Big Show because it's like, all right, dude, we've bragged about you for 25 years about being the biggest guy ever. You've never won a Rumble. You always get thrown out early, so we're going to throw you a bone on this one.
I just remember Cesaro winning it at 30 and didn't do anything after.
Yeah. No, Priest. They've shown that they have confidence in him. They've made Edge put him over.
They put him with Bad Bunny for the last fucking 6 weeks.
They put him with the hottest rapper of 2020.
He's not the hottest rapper of anything. He's all in the Latino category. Nobody gives a shit about that.
We don't listen to
Latinos
sorry, we're not Latino.
I'm just saying. They can say
Jennifer Lopez gives a shit.
And she's getting A-Rod fucking dumped her ass, so like it doesn't matter. Yeah, she used to have a little nut. She has a lot, but nobody gives a shit about her.
This wouldn't bother me if Bad Bunny was in Priest's corner. I wouldn't have no issue. I don't like it going the other way.
Dude, I can't. I want to go like live on TikTok as that match goes on, and I think it's night one.
And the match will probably be shorter than a minute, so we can actually do that.
Well, they're filling that Goldberg time slot.
If it's night one, you'll be watching it with him.
God, it's so dumb. And I understand all the bullshit business sense. I'm not here, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it business-wise. I get it, they're making money. I'm not watching WWE because they do good money-making business practices. I don't give a shit about their business practices. I'm watching it to be entertained, and that shit is not entertaining. And it's hard to say that it's entertaining to most professional wrestling fans.
Wow. They're saying, so we're not doing our breaking news part yet, but they're saying that a 6-way for the Intercontinental title and a ladder match is being reported between Apollo, Big E, Shinsuke, Corbin, KO, and Zayn.
I'll dig that. That'd be fun.
That's a night one first match.
Wow.
That'd be fun, man.
That will get the crowd hyped.
Dude, they don't even do ladder matches anymore.
No.
Really. Yeah.
They don't.
That'll work.
That'd be good.
Cesaro and Seth, Shayna, Nia versus Naomi and Lana versus Mandy and Dana versus Natalya and Tamina's
That's
being
what I was
rumored.
telling you. They need to do some kind
The
of
Mysterios
way
versus Ziggler and Rude versus Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. That's a lot of shit. That's 2 fatal 4-way tag teams.
That's what they talked about last week, with Justin.
If that's the
talking
case,
about it.
just
They're just shoving everybody in the roster into something.
just to get them on the card.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shit.
That women,
Dude.
the tag team. I was just telling you they need to do something like that.
Well,
So
see, that's
maybe
just
I call that one too.
rumored. I was trying to figure out if Bad Bunny was on night one so I can piss Chuck off.
I'm sure he
Try
is.
to get them to follow you on Twitter.
I'm gonna have
such a waste of time.
Listen, the Jacks will be flowing that night. You're gonna be super happy.
Yeah, I'll be sticking with beer
And
only.
he's gonna be having a Bad Bunny shirt.
It is night one.
I don't want to black out before 8 p.m.
It is night one.
Just to see
Bad
your
Bunny
reaction.
so far for night one.
Actually, I might want to black out before 8 p.m.
Yeah, so it's Lashley, Drew, Sasha, Bianca, Bad Bunny, Miz so far announced for night one.
What if he goes over Miz?
Oh, he's probably going to win. I don't see him losing, dude. He's there. These celebrities don't lose. I mean, it's just not going to
That's what
happen.
I told Josh. He's probably gonna win.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And like, he's not even a good celebrity. At least, with Mike Tyson, we've heard of Mike Tyson. We've heard of Pete Rose. We've even heard of fucking Gronk last year. Nobody has
Everybody knows
ever
who Gronk
heard
is.
of Bad Bunny
We're not
until he came to
Latino, sorry.
WWE.
Yeah.
If you're not in the Latino, I don't even know where Latino is. It Mexico? If you're not in Mexico, you don't know who
Not
Bad
here.
Bunny was. I'm gonna get fucking Me Too or whatever here.
Yeah,
But like, nobody's heard of him
You're
until
gonna
he came to Raw. Nobody.
Bad
Face-
Bunny, who?
Facebook Joe for you again.
And it's nothing to do with his ethnicity. I don't give a shit about rap unless you're Eminem or like, even like Dr. Dre and stuff. But like, what?
And Dr. Dre.
Nobody knows who Bad Bunny is. Dumb.
Thank
Unless
God
you're-
Archie's not watching. He's fucking flip his shit like the first time I told him he was overrated.
I like Dr. Dre.
I mean,
But,
his claim to fame is he
I would-
signed Eminem.
I
Anyway.
like Aftermath. No, he has Aftermath. What are you talking about?
Shady Aftermath, yeah.
No, that's just he had his own business. He had his own record label way before Eminem.
Dr. Dre's overrated. He's like Charlotte.
Jeez. So off of everything he does, that's absolutely
No,
correct.
no.
He's just like Charlotte.
No,
He
That's,
no.
compares everything.
You ever
to
had his
Charlotte,
whiskey?
doesn't
You ever
he?
had his whiskey?
I haven't. I don't like it. I mean, that's not fair though, because Metallica's whiskey fucking sucks
It's
too.
like Ludacris.
His vodka.
Ludacris makes headphones nobody wears.
Yeah, I mean-
alcohol nobody drinks, clothes nobody wears. He's like a human going out of business sale. So just like Dr. Dre outside of his
I didn't know. he
3
did
good
that.
songs.
Yeah, celebrities generally don't have good alcohol, but you'll have that.
Some things that you do not need alcohol for is our shows over at the Buzz. We had the Hysteria Hour debut Tuesday. I think that's going to be Mondays going forward.
Yep.
Dennison did a really good job with that.
Oh yeah. So
Maybe next time they'll talk about a good topic.
how did Princess Diana really die? You'll go over the Hysteria Hour, check it out, and maybe you'll get some more clues on how it happened.
True. But if you're interested in audio only, kind of like me and Chuck do, we'll listen to them in our car, which I'll listen to video only in the car and just try to ignore the video. But
Be one of them guys.
if you want to be smart, check out all of our great audio podcasts.
All of them awesome audio shows, man. Definitely check them out. It's good stuff.
Such good shit.
I think, who gets murdered? A lot of people. She'll talk about that.
Should show talk
They
about it.
will.
Lots of people get murdered, man. There's some sad ones. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I hate
still
people.
got one up in the air with them about another particular wrestler that died years ago, tragically. But that's for a different
The
time.
rabid Wolverine. We'll get there.
Yeah, death was more tragic than the Wolverine movies.
I liked one of them.
NXT. So we'll talk about NXT now. Let me pull up so I don't miss. Loaded episode last night. Don't give a fuck about the ratings.
I mean, yeah, we've said that pretty much every time. Ratings are
the first thing that pops up is blah blah blah. All right, so Raquel Gonzalez will fight Io Shirai night 1 for the NXT Women's Championship. They've done a real good job building Raquel. I don't know how long her shelf life is for NXT. She's ready now.
She's ready.
But so is Io Shirai. Io Shirai just worries me they'll treat her like Asuka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope
to me she's not as dominant as Asuka. Asuka came in undefeated, which if you want to blame somebody for fucking up Asuka, blame Charlotte because she had to fucking get fed to her. But looking forward to that. Some other things that happened. The Adam Cole, that was actually the end of it. We'll kind of go up the card. LA Knight debuted. He lost his first match, which pissed off a lot of people, but it's building a story, I think, more so than this guy just has to breeze through the roster straight to the world title. I think LA Knight's actually going to the main roster sooner rather than later. So
cool.
I think it might just be which you know him as Eli Drake.
Right.
But
yep, I liked Eli Drake. He was the head of the AOP there for a minute, right? Back in the day. And he just didn't really fit in with that gimmick. I thought he was being like a comedy actor because he was acting tough like those guys, but he was way smaller.
Yeah, he fits very well in NXT.
Exactly. Like he was just put in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The NXT Tag Team Championships had to be vacated. Danny Burch really fucked up his shoulder. So he's out for about 2 or 3 months. So MSK, who won the Dusty Cup, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legado del Fantasma will be in a triple threat, which I'm sure is going to be MSK's. So MSK was supposed to get a tag team championship after winning the Dusty Cup, but they got attacked by the Grizzled Young Veterans where they broke one of their, I think both their hands got broke.
Damn.
And this will be their first shot since. This might be their crowning moment where they win the tag titles.
Cool.
So that'll be night 1. NXT is doing the same thing Mania is doing, night 1 and 2. I'm kind of more excited for NXT TakeOver. And I think across the internet, that's kind of the general feeling around.
Even I agree with that. Just from I haven't watched it, but just from seeing the shit that I see going down, between I guess call them the fucking 4 horsemen, the Undisputed Era. They've all turned on each other. They're all fighting now. That's awesome television. Walter is awesome television. These tag team divisions are awesome divisions. Like they have their shit together. Yeah, like the shows just look. Storytelling is there. Long-term storytelling is at NXT. Yep. When on the main roster, you don't get anything long-term except for Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, which is, so it's just, in the long term, and the storytelling makes sense.
It does.
So it's just better television.
Makes you want to tune in more.
Yeah, it does. And I've always been like, fuck NXT. All they do is flips and shit. But now I'm seeing stories, so that's what I want to see. And I think they're figuring out, we can do the good mixture of both. And they've always had stories that I think they've overdone it with the flips and stuff. And now they're doing both in a very direct manner. And that's good. It's very good.
Yeah. I mean, this card's stacked. I'll announce the card later on, but Cross beat Oni Larkin. So Oni's, pissed off that Cross hurt his tag team partner. Very good match. Oni looked pretty damn strong. I'm surprised they gave him as much offense as he did against somebody like Cross, but they were tag champions for a reason, which when you're a champion in NXT, it means something.
Sure.
That's the thing. Like tag team champions don't get thrown to the top guys down there. Like they're respectable, which is nice. Right. Cross won. Balor came out. They had a face-to-face thing. Balor's like, you're not going to beat me. And Cross like, we'll see. And Balor talked a lot of shit. That's going to be interesting. I want to see the Demon in that.
I did too.
Night 2.
When's the last time we saw the Demon? It's been a minute.
Oh, man.
It's been a long time.
That's good because he didn't pull it out because Bray broke his neck or whatever.
Yeah,
he did. That's the last time we seen him.
And that was not Demon.
That was just regular Finn.
So that's been
Super Showdown in 2009. He used it to retain his Intercontinental Championship against Andrade.
2009?
19.
Oh, there we go. I was gonna be like, wait a minute, was this when we first used the Demon? Right.
It's like Balor, I don't think was there yet.
Right.
He told Cross that you're gonna let your emotions get to you.
Yeah, he said, I'm not a man that lives and dies off emotion. You get overly angry. He's like your emotions are going to cost you.
There it is, and the Demon's emotionless.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Your favorite part. So Drake Maverick somehow got into a match with Walter.
I have no idea.
He won in like 9 seconds. Dude. Like, Jesus.
I watched it.
Ciampa came out which I'm looking at it right now, face to face, asked Walter for a title match. Walter kind of laughed. Ciampa chopped. Say that 5 times as Ciampa chopped. Ciampa chopped. Ciampa chopped. Jesus Christ. Ciampa chopped his chest, which pissed off Walter, who's known for. He doesn't really have a fancy nickname for it, but he chops the shit out of him.
Just chop, the Walter chop, man.
Imperium beats the shit out of him, and then there's a GIF right here we're watching of Ciampa just getting annihilated by
Walter's a big tall dude.
And Walter says, "I'll see you at Takeover." So there you go. So now you throw in another prestigious belt because they treat it correctly in UK. The NXT UK Championship against Ciampa.
Yeah, man, that's money, as the kids
and that's like the 5th best match on the card. That's what's insane. The depth of the card.
Oh yeah,
it's almost in the mid card, but it's built so well and such. They've only been feuding for 3 weeks. Yeah. Walter just got back.
He just did.
And but that's just how storytelling. Because there's no silly gimmicks here. It's just 2 hard-hitting guys who have a awesome background.
I'm still pissed off Walter got eliminated first Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's bullshit, wasn't it? And you know,
like,
main
why
roster.
Could he have not been
main roster?
Not even by like Roman. Like
I know. That's Vince McMahon's
I don't
bullshit.
there's some guys I don't want to see on the main roster, and Walter's one of them.
I agree, because you're not going to get used drag. I don't want to see Walter tarnished. I don't want to see Ciampa tarnished. You know, there's just some guys I don't want to see fucked with. And,
all right, so segue into my favorite wrestler, period. Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Wrestling.
The North American champion.
He's your favorite wrestler?
He is.
Is he really?
He is. Bray disappeared for like 6 months. You know, he's got to win it back. He got caught on fire. And
you don't get burned.
I watch. Johnny's just like,
don't mess with Orton.
He entertains you.
He can they call him Johnny Takeover. So like, this is his shit. Even though he loses more than he wins, but he always shows out. So they announced this like battle royal for next week, right? And the final 6 will go to Takeover night 1 and fight in a gauntlet match. And the winner of that will fight Johnny the second night.
Nice.
So Johnny goes to Wriggles' office and he starts throwing a fit about how this is so unfair to him. And Wriggles just like, so I'm making them fight in a battle royal and then in a gauntlet a night before, but you're pissed off. He's like, yeah, I got time to study and do shit. I got pets and shit at home to take care of. He's like talking about chores at home, and Wriggles like, get help. And he's like, are you Cocoa Bananas? Is exactly what he asked him. And Wriggles just like,
Gets up and like, if I were you, I would study all your.
Yeah, he's like, I'd study all of them. He's like, what? How much time do you think I have? I'm married.
Like, are you out to get me? And Wriggles like,
I love Gargano.
He's so entertaining.
He's not losing his title at Takeover. Loomis is going to win the fucking gauntlet, which we'll predict next week.
Sure,
we'll do both nights next week for NXT.
Dude, when Mania is only like what 3 weeks away?
It's the same week as Takeover.
I know, man. It's coming up. It's
so
2 weeks.
19 days Monday.
Jesus, man, time
so
is
much wrestling.
Yeah, dude, before, fuck, dude, it was just. I feel like it was just 50. I was seeing that on they show.
Sure.
What was it? Rumble 50 days or Chamber. Now it's like 19. Then Monday at Raw, it's going to be like 12.
It went pretty fast.
Like it's going to be here soon.
That's coming up, man. That's wild.
We're going to learn all about semen again.
Oh man, that's
missed it, Bennett. Missed it. Where was I at? Oh, sorry, we're still on NXT. So Gargano, the Robert Stone brand, which is apparently for some reason still a thing. Yeah, they challenged for the women's tag team titles. They didn't win. But Candice LeRae and Indy, they're calling her Indie Wrestling. Clever name right there.
Hell yeah.
They challenged them being Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. And they accepted, right? So it looks like that's going to be the women's tag team championship match. And this story's been going on for about 2 months now, too. Another slow build. Yep. Well, her dad, Shotzi Blackheart's dad was in like the Marines or something, and like he passed away. Oh, so she drives that tank to the ring in her honor. Well, Candice ran it over with her truck. So
I didn't know about Shotzi.
Shotzi comes out the next week and just starts bawling, and like then explains everything. It's like, you fucking bitch.
Well, at least she didn't go to the dad's cemetery during the.
Oh, dude! Why we're on topic?
The funeral.
Orton goes into detail about going AWOL in that interview.
Oh, does it really? That's cool.
He goes like deep into it.
Nice.
He does not call you out by name for screaming it at him at a live event.
I mean, he knows who I am.
Even though it was very, very quiet.
Yeah, it was very quiet.
And you're like, AWOL! And it's like, oh,
he looked.
He definitely heard.
It's like, that stupid fucking smart fan. I hate those guys. Thinking they're clever.
The smart fans.
No. But at least this chick did not go to the funeral and take the the casket and drag it with a truck, like Big Boss Man did the Big Show.
I remember that.
I didn't know about Shotzi's. I mean, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
That was annoying. I didn't like when she was running people over. I said, that's the idea. Like, let's just run over and kill people like that.
That's how most women drive.
That's a good point.
I about got ran off the road at least 2 or 3 times a day. Everybody's like, what if it's you? It's like, no, I mean, there's a lot of women out there.
That's the thing. I about get run off the road quite a bit too. And every time I'm in my lines and they're not in their lines. So how is it my fault? When
I mean, my dad had to buy
lines?
my mom a car that keeps it in the lines for her. So I mean,
it beats when she.
yeah,
It
like,
helps her. It
yeah,
helps. I think it paralyzed.
you can paralyzed part.
So,
Hey man,
Don't turn on handicap.
Sometimes people who are paralyzed can probably park parallel better than other
This
people.
car will drive itself, so it's almost foolproof for her.
That's good. I like it. Well, I'm glad that your mom can finally drive correctly.
She gets close to something and beeps. She's like, "What's that beep?"
Let's see if she learns the buttons first.
Yeah.
So Cameron Grimes. So Roderick Strong's kind of lost out of this whole undisputed thing because Cole and O'Reilly's feuding. O'Reilly tells him earlier in the night, doesn't involve you, just stay out of it. So Strong's kind of the odd man out of this whole group. He's like kind of the Marty Jannetty now because like who cares? So Cameron Grimes is back there talking about all his money and how he'll buy the Undisputed Era brand and he'll come up with a new logo and a new thing. So Roderick punches him in the face. So which, bam,
punch right in the mouth.
There you go, clean. In his Iron Mike Tyson jacket, by the way. Bam.
That's why I wore it. That's
Cameron Grimes is dressed like he's going to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah, they'll have a good matchup too.
That's going to be the Cesaro-Seth match of TakeOver. It's going to be a great match. Grimes definitely should go over there.
Yeah, but good for Undisputed Era. They lasted a long time.
They're still pretty relevant now.
Yeah, and they stayed. I mean, that's what I said. They stayed the main event era for that long.
Yeah, 4 years.
That's a long time. They've stayed
pretty
relevant.
much since NXT's like
took off.
Well, yeah, since like Seth and Bray and Roman and all them left.
Became their own thing. Yeah, absolutely.
This new age of it. Because before there always was an NXT, but it was FCW. Then it became NXT for a year or so. Then Seth and Bray and the Wyatts and the Shield, and they all came through there. And then it really took off when the KOs and the Zanes and the Balors got there. Jordan Devlin and Kushida, another really good match. I thought it was actually the main event. I had forgotten that O'Reilly and Cole's contract signing was even. It's like I was excited as fuck when I realized
it was more.
It's 9. It was 9:48 or something. I was like, "What are they like that scared of AEW?" Then I turned on AEW's main event and I was like, "No, they can't be."
Yeah.
But then Devlin won, and then Chuck's favorite of all time, Shawn Michaels, came down, put a ladder between them.
Yeah, I did see
walked
that.
Off.
That's the thing with Shawn Michaels.
Ladder match.
The thing with Shawn Michaels though is like again, all-time favorite. It's cool to see him on there, but sometimes I'd rather just not see him.
Well, he's just like an authority figure there, but I kind of like how he came in like, yeah, you guys are just wrestling here.
Right.
Pointing up at the thing like, there you go.
That's going to be a great match. That's probably TakeOver is going to be better than Mania.
Yeah, they'll tear it down.
It's going to be better than Mania. It's sad. It's not even sad. I thought for the most part it was just as good as Mania last year too.
I don't want to sound like a typical WWE hater or fanboy or whatever, because a lot of people, maybe yourself included, how great NXT is and the main roster sucks. When is Vince McMahon going to realize that the general consensus is NXT is better because Triple H is better at doing that kind of stuff? When are we gonna get back to the Raw and SmackDown being high quality shows? I'm not saying Attitude Era shit because we're over that, but I'm saying just better, because we can clearly NXT is showing you that you don't need Attitude Era stuff to be good. So when are we going to get back to that? That
doesn't even work anymore.
That doesn't. It really doesn't.
It's a whole different time.
So when are we going to get back to Raw being better and and not just something I have to
just fast stuck in his ways, dude. We talked about it a few weeks ago. They just keep making. I think we were talking to Justin Credible. He keeps making money. Yeah. So why the fuck would he change? And it just hurts us. It doesn't hurt him. They just become $2 billion contracts in a year. And they made, granted, in a pandemic, they released a lot of people, that's a different topic. Yeah. But they made a lot of money this year.
And then another thing that really does annoy me was they did consistently lose to AEW in the ratings, which, we all know, blah, blah. I'm not getting into that debate.
It was a reactive move.
But the paperwork shows that they did lose that. That's going to give Vince McMahon even more confidence that NXT stuff isn't as good. and it annoys me because it's all these factors that I'm like, it's there, but it's bullshit, and here's why. But nobody cares. Here's why. They see the paperwork. That's how businesses work. It just annoys me because like wrestling could be so much better than what it is, and I don't have time to go back and watch all of the other stuff that is potentially better or would fit my style of what I like these days. But man, I just want to watch Raw and SmackDown and enjoy it and not have to like, well, that's annoying or that could be better or this could be better. You know what I mean? Because like, and some of the stuff could be me being nitpicky, but some of it's obvious. Like,
it's the Tuesday night move will help when he sees that it pulls over 1 million. It's if you put it in Raw's time slot, it'd draw more than Raw does. I almost can guarantee it would. Because you're gonna have those diehards that watch Raw anyway. They're gonna watch like, holy shit, where's this at? Because there's damn near a lot of WWE fans that don't watch NXT. They just watch Raw. They're programmed to watch Raw and SmackDown.
That's me.
And that's it. So when they actually, you have to force them to see it before they can buy into it. It's like it's like when you're a little kid and you're like, eat your broccoli. It's like, broccoli fucking sucks. It's like, put cheese on. It's like, oh, it's so good though. Like, it's not as bad as I thought. Like we talked earlier, sometimes what your perception of something is actually worse than it is.
Sure.
It's like when they're like, eat Chinese food. I was like, I don't want to eat fried cat, but like Chinese food is great.
I mean, I'm
like
sure
the
fried cat is good, but
the perception of a lot of stuff and you get in your own head and you convince yourself something's that it's not. And I think that's what it is with NXT. Like, it's just minor leagues. And then they don't watch it. No. Then when they watch it, it's like, holy fuck. And then people come up to the main roster and are like, who the fuck's this guy?
Sure.
And that's when Vince is like, oh, fuck them. And they toss him to the side, which scares me a little bit with Ripley.
It's very scary, dude, just because, out of the dozens and dozens of NXT guys who have gone to the main event, only a couple are still relevant. We got Kevin Owens, who earned that spot.
Yep.
Sami Zayn is earning that spot every fucking week because he's hilarious.
With his paparazzi or anything.
And other than those two, they're hit or miss. Nakamura is still weekly, but he wasn't pushed the way that people thought he would be pushed. I'm not sure what they wanted. But people will bitch about him. Cesaro was one I think was underrated. Maybe that's gonna get rectified here at WrestleMania.
Looks like it.
But he's still been around forever. He's been around since like 2013.
A big extension, so I'm sure there's something in the works for him for coming back.
Then we got guys like Ricochet, who's gone. Black, we've dug into the ground, but he's one of them. There's just a lot of guys, and on Andrade, he's one. He's right, and he's one that I never saw much in him anyway.
He was good on NXT. Honest to God, I feel if you take anybody from the main roster and put them on NXT, Triple H is going to make them look as good as you. It's like a football. Let's use a football analogy. It's like when you go play for a great coach, they're going to get everything out of you. A Belichick, a fucking Don Shula, whatever. They're going to get every out. If you have any potential, they're going to drain it out of you. They're going to get the most out of you before you move on. That's what Triple H does. Everybody he's had. Name an NXT person that was down there and actually sucked. Elias is the only guy to have more success on the main roster than NXT, and I can argue his success isn't even that good because he's still fucking just getting squashed right now.
The thing with Elias, like he does have success, but it's not for his in-ring work.
No,
that's for his
gimmick.
His
all he did in NXT was drift around.
He's putting people over.
He was a drifter. He didn't even wrestle. Corbin's probably better than he was down there. He's had a lot more opportunities. He's featured more.
Corbin's doing all right.
Corbin always lost in big matches down there to like KO and
big matches here too.
But I mean,
so he's doing the same.
Won championships. He
has a king gimmick.
In NXT, he didn't win anything.
Yeah,
Sami Zayn and KO are both kind of. KO did bust onto the scene, but Zayn,
I would say he's probably their biggest name.
I'm digging exactly what Zayn. I've been digging Zayn for a few months ever since he's came back from.
Same.
I guess he went away for COVID. He wanted to stay away.
He's come back.
Was it last year at Mania? He backed out.
I think so.
And then they stripped him of the Intercontinental title, and he came back with
his shirt. The replica.
Yeah, he came back like, this is the real one. It's like, did you buy that off the shop?
I love how he wears that shirt that says, I am the IC
for Mania,
champion.
you can't allow me to buy another belt. That's like a bad trend here.
You might, man.
That's when the Wednesday Night Championship was purchased.
you probably will.
I bought a $300 glass case and a $259 belt. Hopefully, if at least my taxes come in, I want to buy the. I don't even know. I kind of want the old Undisputed Championship, the one Taker used to carry around.
Dude, if I were you, you like that. That's good. But the one that you're missing that would make that great is the heavyweight title.
Oh, WCW,
the big gold.
Big gold. Yeah. I thought about it.
Yep,
I also
Mania.
still want Braves because I think I'm going to go full blown Bray this year at Halloween.
Cruz, while we're watching WrestleMania, he's going to come over on the other night, so it's going to be a 2-nighter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's better we keep me and Cruz away from each other, anyways. So to finish up NXT, you had the contract signing. Kyle O'Reilly's not medically cleared to compete. NXT does not want to be held responsible for anything that happens between these two because they've tried to run over each other with cars. They showed a clip earlier in the night of them, one of them being at a gym. Adam Cole bust into the door and they start fighting in the middle of that.
I watched that
so,
too.
Really
very personal.
Words exchange.
Yeah, since I don't watch that weekly, but I do see some of these clips. I'll be on like Facebook at work and I'll have a downtime, so I'll just like see it and then so I'll just watch that clip.
So they brought back a lot of things from ROH, like story time with Adam Cole, where he called him a lap dog and all this stuff. So it's like talk about long-term storytelling. These guys feuded back in ROH.
That's cool. I used to like him. I used to watch that. I didn't watch it like religiously, but when I was in college, I had a buddy give me some DVDs, so I watched like Raven versus CM Punk. That's a match. Yeah, Ring of Honor had some cool stuff back in the day.
Yeah, so that ended up with them screaming at each other and having to be held back.
And William Regal had security all ready to go.
And they were announced as the co-main event for night 2.
Hell yeah.
Only to the NXT Championship match between Cross and Balor.
I love when it was Kyle's turn to sign the contract. Adam Cole said, he's like, yeah, Kyle, sign your warrant. And Regal's like, don't start.
Yeah,
don't
Regal's
even do it.
Trying to keep shit together.
He's
it's like,
he goes, for God's sake, there was a police report involved. That's what he said when he first. He's like, he had a blind.
Big Gold's $250.
You go talk to Stone Cold Steve Austin about police reports. That dude's been arrested on,
That's
on
true,
television like 7
the
times.
old school white IC title is only $150.
Yeah, because Cody made that one popular.
And they just fucking ruined that.
That's purple on it.
All right, so NXT's takeover. So next week on RSH, we will be talking about Raw, SmackDown, the usual, and doing our NXT takeover predictions. That's going to be a long ass article to write out.
Yeah.
That will be.
So you got night 1. Damn, there's a lot going on. The Gauntlet Eliminator for the title shot. So 6 superstars out of Jake Atlas, Swerve Scott, Leon Ruff, Austin Theory, Loomis, Tyler Rusk, Kushida, Cameron Grimes, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong, Bronson Reed, and LA Knight. 6 of them
That's a lot of people.
will be in a
That's a lot of
match.
people.
Want to be at a Gauntlet
That's a lot
match.
of people a day.
Chuck's favorite, Tommaso Ciampa will fight Walter for the NXT UK Championship. MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legado del Fantasma fight for the NXT Tag Team titles, and Raquel Gonzalez against Io Shirai for the Women's Championships main eventing. Only 4 matches, but I'm pretty sure because that Gauntlet's going to run about an hour.
I bet.
Yeah.
Dude, I like Gauntlet matches. I've always been a sucker for those.
They do those on Raw sometimes, and I really like them. Like
Yeah.
Kofi Mania started off a Gauntlet where he lost. Yeah. AJ had a was it Seth a few years ago that like lit it up in a Gauntlet?
I think that's when the same that Kofi one that you just brought up.
Yeah, like Seth. I remember Seth lit it up.
I mean, he really put himself over hard because he impressed a lot of people during that Gauntlet. It was crazy, and he ended up losing. I think it was that same one. That was a couple of years ago.
The night 2, you have the Gauntlet winner against Johnny Gargano. The ladder match for the Cruiserweight title, it's been officially announced it's going to be a ladder match. So Jordan Devlin, who is the rightful Cruiserweight champion, he won it, but then got trapped in UK against Santos Escobar, who won it's a legit NXT title because we didn't know when COVID was going to end, but they're unifying it for the real champion.
Sure.
Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly they're calling it no rules, no liability,
Regal's
unsanctioned fight.
No liability.
You should see Regal's face.
Insurance will not cover this.
Regal's like, I've had it.
Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor for the NXT Men's Championship. And then you're going to probably see the women's tag team with Blackheart and Moon against LeRae and Hartwell added as well. I think that's about all. Anything else they would add because Grimes and Roderick Strong are both in that gauntlet, so I guess they won't be fighting each other. They'll just cross paths there.
Probably.
Gauntlet's loaded too. Dexter Loomis, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong, Bronson Reed,
they really are hard
Swerve. Jake Atlas sucks. He's one of the things I don't care about. Drake Maverick got fucked up last night. I think he got legitimately hurt.
Probably.
Walter don't fuck around.
Walter squashed him. And that's the first time I've seen Walter fight. And he's a scary dude.
Keep talking.
Oh, boy. So CM Punk.
Uh-oh.
So Bray
That name.
posted a picture from 2011 where Orton punted Bray when he was in Husky Harris.
I saw that.
And Punk tweeted, I tried to warn him. Randall never listens. Hope you don't hold a grudge for that little whipping incident, bygones and such. And he said he talked to Bray and told him to take it easy on Randy at WrestleMania, but he don't think Bray's going to listen. So that's some long-term story. That's 2009.
That's going back a ways, isn't it?
You know, Bray's like biggest enemy so far in his career, which I think is going to be at least 10 more years. It's probably been Orton so far.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they've had. I mean, they feuded for the title back in 2016.
Cena's a close second, but him and Cena feuded quite a bit. Daniel Bryan's up there as well because he had. Sure, Bryan was in the Wyatt
family.
I think
That was a pretty long storytelling.
Cruci, which Mania matches are you actually looking forward to?
Look,
I'm gonna buy myself a Slammy.
I want the red title.
You know, you can get a championship belt that costs less than the fucking Slammy award.
Holy shit! How much is the Slammy?
$159.
Jesus Christ, guys! Just go earn one on the main roster.
Oh, well, there's Josh's dream title.
$343. That's still expensive.
That's still very expensive.
Ugly ass belt.
Well, is that? That's Daniel Bryan's Eco.
Yeah.
Cycling.
Hey, the Ric Flair Golden Championship, real gold's like $1,000.
Look at that! I like that.
I'm gonna buy the women's championship belt.
Buy that for me.
I like the U.S. title.
I just like the red top.
See, that's the one I was talking about.
I like that new IC belt quite a bit. Yeah, I like that old one too. That's pretty sweet.
Is it better with the European title?
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
If I did the 24/7 title, I would actually like gimmick it.
How's that not $7?
It should at least be $247.
There you go.
R-Truth's like the 50-something champion of that.
Yeah, old school IC title, big gold, $320.
Wow, I love
That big gold's probably my
$1 million
favorite.
titles. Beautiful as well. Look, it's the Wednesday night title. They're calling it the Attitude Era Championship.
That was my favorite title. Was the Divas title.
It's also Paige's favorite.
I got
title.
the spinner. The spinner was our championship for a long time.
Yeah, spinner. That's the John Cena. The John Cena, but I like the Stone Cold belt. I like the Rock's belt too. They're pretty.
Stone Cold belt.
Pretty solid,
yeah, dude.
So man, WrestleMania is gonna be pretty loaded this year.
We got Raw, Hall of Fame. NXT Takeover Night 1, Wednesday, Takeover Night 2, Thursday, SmackDown Friday, WrestleMania Night 1, Saturday, WrestleMania Night 2, Sunday.
It's a lot of wrestling.
A lot of wrestling. And a lot
every
of thinking,
fucking day.
too.
And then for people like her that watches everything, you got Impact on Tuesday, you got AEW on Wednesday.
I don't watch Impact.
She watches AEW.
There are some people, man. That's a lot still.
And then there's some people that watch, not saying any of it's bad. No, AEW sucks. But besides that, like 205 Live people still watch.
Dude, no.
Main event is still there. NWA's back. And then you have like ARW.
Every Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Fight TV.
Yeah, you can catch him right after us in about 45 minutes. He's going to, spoiler, win that briefcase.
Hopefully.
But a lot of wrestling.
Coming up. A lot of
we're just stacked the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Our content writes itself. I can book the show after we go off the air. Normally I have to wait to see what goes on. We're booked for the next 3 weeks.
And it's crazy too, because I won't be fast forwarding anything on WrestleMania. So
you can't. Peacock don't have it.
I know. So
I was going to ask you that. What's your experience been with Peacock? A lot of people are pissy. What was your first initial reaction with it?
I didn't have any issues with it.
There's not a lot. You can't pause. You can pause, but you can't go back or anything yet.
That you probably can't. I haven't tried. Even when I watched on the network, I never did that. I just hit watch live and that's it. I don't try because when you pause it, when you're watching a live stream and you pause it generally fucks up on the network. So I just never messed with that. If I gotta go pee, I gotta go pee, and if I miss something, I miss something.
When you see Bad Bunny, when you watch it with him, you're wanting to start rewinding.
He's gonna be right in there by the bar, he wants a shot.
I'll be
Josh is gonna walk in with his hair in a little.
I'm gonna be.
My hair won't grow out that much.
Or just put clips up.
My hair won't survive a haircut before Mania, so no worries there. We'll have to see if they do the buy a shirt and get one for $1. I might have to toss me a Bad Bunny one for $1.
The one thing with Peacock is, the big rumor today is they're going to start cutting a lot of crap. Hopefully that's not the case. They cut one thing that I saw and people freaked out. I don't mind if they do little stuff like that, but they don't need to be censoring all of the Attitude Era because all of that's pretty offensive. Right. And, I'm going to go back and watch something without being edited and cut up because otherwise that just defeats the purpose. It's no longer there if you just cut everything. So we'll see. I don't know yet. I'm not sure what their route is. People are freaking out over the Rowdy Piper's face split. I don't know. I don't care about that. I just don't want to be cutting matches and stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see. There's a skit where DX dressed up like the Nation of Domination, which in today's world is definitely not something you do. Because X-Pac.
There's some stuff that's all right.
But that wasn't a racial thing. It was just them making fun of these guys thing. So, I get both sides, but I just don't see the point of cutting it. if they do, they do. I'm not going to go back and watch it anyway, I guess. I just don't want them to because I don't want to. Because the day will come, I don't want to watch something and it won't be on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I like watching old pay-per-views and stuff.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially Rumble season.
Especially Rumble season.
I'm seriously trying to talk myself into putting on Mania from last year, and just like I never really pay attention fully to anything anymore with like my 8 TVs in my house.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to get a feel for what it was like last year without fans, because the number one thing we talked about is we're gonna have fans. And that's going to be a huge thing this year.
Yep.
We're going to have, they're talking about raising that number up to like 35 to 40. Vince is going to get as many in there as he safely can.
Sure.
And people are getting vaccinated. I mean, I know we're eligible here starting the 29th.
I'm not getting it.
I'm not either.
Spoiler alert.
Me either. I don't like needles.
But it's not even the needles. It's like I'll do it once all the testing with it's over.
Sure.
Like my boss had it, and like he's super sick. He got super sick.
That's why I don't want to do it.
I had COVID, so they said the vaccine's probably going to hit people that had it a lot worse.
I just ain't scared.
I never got flu shots,
I
so
know.
I never had the flu,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to look because I'm 30 and I never.
That's
had the
how
flu.
I feel about you. I don't get the
So-
flu shots. I don't get the flu. That's where I'm at.
Like,
in
if
life.
everybody else gets the vaccine, then I should be okay.
Right.
If I get COVID, I mean, there's going to be such a thing as COVID pay at some point, I'm sure. So
Sure. I'm going to go back and watch WrestleMania 17, I think. As everybody says it's their favorite. I've only watched it
that
once.
Rock and Hogan,
Rock and Austin.
Rock
and Hogan are 18.
It's pretty solid.
It's when Austin turns on The Rock at the end and just beats a shot with a steel chair. And then he joins Vince McMahon and stuff.
No,
and
I
that's
don't blame him. The Rock's a dick.
but,
You've never liked The Rock, have you?
I love The Rock.
Never. Josh has never liked him.
But everybody says it's the favorite, and I remember watching it once when it was new, and I haven't seen it since. I'm gonna go back and rewatch that one this year, I think.
I love watching the old Rumbles. I always start with the ones I like, my favorite wrestlers first, like Orton's, all the ones he's won. Of course, Randy Orton. And then
Randy Orton sucks. About to get squashed in Mania.
he is. I hate to say
I think my favorite WrestleMania ever is WrestleMania 22. And it's probably because it was the first WrestleMania that I watched live. I think I was a senior in high school. I just ordered it for myself. First time I've ever done that because, my parents let me do it. I paid for it for myself probably because I had a job at that point finally. And so it's like, and it was a really good one too. That was Triple H versus John Cena, Vince McMahon versus Shawn Michaels. It was a really, really good pay-per-view.
It's crazy who Vince fought.
I know.
He fought all the legends.
He did.
He was good at it. And then if you guys remember the arena, it was the arena that they had all the faces on the perimeter of the ceiling.
Yeah, they always had some
WrestleMania
really
22.
cool layouts
Yeah.
for how they made shit look.
Especially back before the fucking HD Titantron. When they had the same Titantron, that's when they kind of got lazy with it. But I think they're kind of getting back into it.
They're getting more creative.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
My
So,
favorite is the one Saturday, April 10th, Bad Bunny.
Jesus Christ. I
You guys
can't.
get to watch it together. That's what's
Are you-
even worse.
Is it so funny?
I'm going to go,
Sorry.
as soon as we go off air, I'm going to download Booker T onto my phone via Apple Music.
Do you know
and
who
start
hates
rocking
Booker
out.
T song? Booker T hated that song
No, he
too.
don't.
He didn't. That's
Booker
was he
T's claim to
smiling?
fame.
He hated it.
He hated a song that was about him. He wasn't even
He's
smiling.
been irrelevant for years, and then he's like, oh shit, I'm on the biggest Latino rapper's album.
Yeah, and he looked thrilled.
Vince
With
told him
that
not to
angry
do that.
look.
He
on
had to
his
wear
face.
sunglasses, so like they
You know,
could see
I
his
bet you
eyes
anything
rolling.
he was so
He was
pissed
so
that he was probably
disgusted.
told, don't talk or move. Just stay in there.
He has sunglasses
stand there.
on.
Bad
He looks
Bunny's
so
the star you
disgusted.
washed up.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
so rough.
It's going to be a fun couple weeks.
Yeah, shit. WrestleMania season's always a good time.
I'm interested for SmackDown tomorrow, too.
Yeah, it
With
should
the
be fun.
Daniel Bryan. We think it's going to be a triple threat. They still have to get us there.
Yeah,
So-
that's going to be.
That's gone.
Then Sasha and Bianca hopefully rebounds, and they actually
Yeah, they got
Bailey should not
2
be off the
weeks?
card.
No.
I don't think she's going to be.
It's weird.
That is weird.
If she was going to be off the card, I want her to host it.
Well,
She'd
we
have been
already
a
have the
great
host.
host.
We already
I
have
know.
Hulk Hogan
I'd
and-
fucking get rid of Hulk Hogan. Give it to her.
Titus
I don't need
O'Neil's
Hulk
the other
Hogan
host.
Dude,
hosting WrestleMania.
why isn't it fucking Stone Cold or somebody? Why is it
no
Hogan?
offense, but
Use somebody you have. Like, I'm still holding out hope they let Elias perform.
Well, to be the host, I don't think a current wrestler should be a host. See, that
Well,
doesn't-
Titus is.
well, he's not really. I understand. I don't really agree with that. I think it should be
New Day
somebody
did.
like I liked it when The Rock did it. That was like the first time somebody hosted it. That was cool. It was different. I think Austin should do it.
I would love that.
Like active wrestlers shouldn't
Rock
be
would
doing
do
that.
it.
Somebody, I mean, last year was it Gronk?
Maybe I don't remember.
Gronk was last year. 'Cause
Yeah.
He won the 24/7.
That's
title.
right.
Anyone
yeah.
else?
He was there. I remember. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, remember because he was scared
He
to
did.
take the
Yeah.
bump, and Vince was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" He did it for
and
him.
did it. Did he was like 80
Josh
years
would
old.
love The Rock to host it, wouldn't
He did it. WrestleMania 25.
I remember. Not my favorite.
Every 20, whatever number it was. But yeah.
I didn't like Rock before he came after John Cena.
That's your only reason.
And he beat him, and then he lost to him.
Yeah.
They actually had a pretty good feud, man. I really liked the Survivor Series match when we were tag team champions.
They fought R-Truth and Miz.
Yeah. That was cool.
It just shows Miz has done a lot, man.
He's
There's
been
no
there.
spot you can't put him in.
He's been there forever. Like, he better be doing that shit. He's been there for long enough.
There's a rumor that we could be getting a Miz and Maurice versus Taya and Morrison match down the road.
I'll be right with that.
Because Maurice is still...
Taya, they're still talking about whether she's actually going to go to NXT or just go straight up with John.
I'd watch
Maurice, I was a huge Maurice
he loves
person.
Her. Before Alexa Bliss, he loved
pre-married
Maurice.
days.
Yeah, man, she was hot.
So like, I'm still getting over Alexa currently.
Well, you know who's not? You know who she got over? Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stay away, please. I agree with Orton's wife, please.
Yeah, so I'm in WWE women's locker room. I'm looking, so we'll see. Alexa,
you're disgusting.
She's taking.
Why don't you find somebody else? I mean, I can't think of one top of my head.
Well, Bailey's single now.
Ugh.
She still smells like pickles.
She smells like room temperature ketchup.
She smells like pickles.
The fact she asked that makes me laugh.
Dude,
smell like pickles.
She's so terrible. That fucking ding dong show. What does she call it?
With her little glasses.
Ding dong.
Ding dong in her shirt says that
Yeah,
she had the
ding
actual
dong,
door.
hello.
I would break up with her too. She can go get with A-Rod because he's single
I
now
can
too.
help you find some. Okay, Carmella. There's a good one.
She's dating Corey Graves.
She ain't married to him.
Yeah, she
There's no
ain't
ring
married.
on it.
I don't see no ring on that finger.
That used to be my frame of mind, and I got criticized for it. Now it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Okay.
Yeah, man. So we got some cool stuff coming up. We got, it's going to produce solid podcasts too.
NXT takeover.
So is next. No, we have two more No, is next week or last
week's
week?
predictions for
Shit,
takeover.
Already.
Then the week after is Mania. So next week's takeover predictions, because they'll actually be a day in.
I got you.
And then we'll talk about night one leading into our Mania predictions.
2 weeks from right now, we'll be doing Mania.
We're 14 days away.
I got
so that makes us 16 days away from Mania.
I got you. Man, time is flying.
We got a lot of thinking to do.
That's a lot of matches.
Yeah, it's a lot going on there. So they have 2 weeks to get their shit together and make this shit.
A lot of it's
ready
been
to
okay,
roll.
but some of it's not so.
I mean, I think Edge, Reigns, and Bryan, they're on their right track.
undercard, I don't get pissed off they don't build it as well. Like Apollo and Big E's been built pretty solid. Cesaro and Seth, good. Bad Bunny, epic. I mean, Drew.
He
Oh my
would
God,
say
I
something
can't-
great about
I
that,
can't-
wouldn't he?
Drew
I
and
can't.
Lashley, solid. Roman, Bryan, and Edge has been very good.
Sure.
Right.
I agree.
Ripley and Asuka, we'll see. It just happened. So they have some, like you said, they do have some work to do. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for it. It's going to be a hell of a week.
It'll be
By the
fun.
time that week's over and the Raw after, God, dude, and NXT is going to be on Tuesdays again. Like by that Wednesday after Mania, I'm gonna be sick of fucking.
It's gonna
wrestling.
be-
And I watch,
refreshed.
I watch Raw.
Like because you watch
AEW,
AEW, so she'll still watch AEW.
I watch it every week.
You gonna watch
like-
Impact on the Saturday of Mania?
Nope.
Did you see they moved it to Sunday?
I did not.
They moved it to a different. They moved to a whole different day.
So it's not
Like
gonna
April
be.
25th.
I gotcha. That's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
Kenny's YouTube segment of AEW this past week did 112K, and Dana Brooke getting beat up by Shayna Baszler at 397.
Wow.
So they're like, damn, Kenny can't even draw more than
Yeah, that's pretty
Dana
rough.
Brooke. And he was the big headliner for Impact last night.
Well, Impact they're done. Like their name just won't get anybody
Before we
anymore.
wrap up, you want to guess how many fans AEW's new Monday Night Show did?
How many?
27,000.
What? Jesus Christ! What's their new show?
And AEW,
Is
one
that-
big show's coming.
Is that show?
27. Initially, the numbers came out and said 54,000. Everybody's like, oh my God, awful. And they actually came back legit, and they were 27. 27K.
That's not good.
That ain't good at all.
I think one of our shows here at the Buzz did better than that one night, actually.
Josh,
that's pretty rough.
Yeah, our Tyson Kidd interview almost did those numbers.
Yeah,
We did like 2.5.
Yeah,
so it was
not
up there.
bragging, but we should. Sorry, AEW.
that's pretty rough. That's rough. But all right, guys.
On my laptop.
So be sure to follow us on social media and tell us what you guys want us to talk about going forward. Do you have any questions that you want us to ask, or not ask, but answer going into WrestleMania? Anything you want us to discuss going into WrestleMania? Let us know over at Facebook. You can follow us at The Buzz, all the social media accounts, but we're better on Twitter than anywhere else, just to be honest. So So yeah, guys. Anything else to wrap up here?
That's it. Next week, NXT Takeover. Oh, your 1-year anniversary things this weekend.
Yeah.
That's
right.
it. This Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me here. I'm doing a live paranormal annual anniversary here. Should be a good time.
Oh, dude, I still got to tell you my new story.
Oh, you do?
I completely forgot about it. I've been trying not to think about it.
That's
Oh,
understandable.
no.
So if you guys do have a story, if you want to hop on the episode here, you can tell me your quick story during the live show. That'd be phenomenal. I'll have a link ready for you guys just to hop on, so that'd be awesome. I'm going to have some ghost equipment kind of going on because this is actually where stuff goes down the most. This is where I heard my knocking on that wall. You guys seen her move on
Yes, she did.
And that's right when I look up, she's right there. I'm like, wow.
So-
She didn't move tonight.
Yeah, so this garage is where shit goes down. So we're going to have that going on. I'm going to go over some past guests that I've had. It should be a good time. So join me here, 7 p.m., Paranormal Activities.
Yep.
What's going on with anything? You guys, anything going on? How's the boardroom doing?
um,
You're not really going to stop doing it, are you?
it's taking a break
Fair enough. When's it going to come back? Sometime? It'll come back.
eventually,
It'll be back.
someday. Arena Rock Show this week. What's
there
our
you
topic?
go.
We have no idea.
No, but hey, Arena Rock Show. I dig it. When they're going to come back to town here. When are they going to come back
May
to town?
29th.
May 29th.
They'll be back in Ohio. RG from Between the Pipes. Supposed to come to Ohio.
And
Check it out with us. That
They're
should be
playing.
cool.
When they play, I can hear them in my house.
Yeah,
That's
they're right
how
down the
close
street
they
from where we
are.
right now.
So it's good
And
shit.
they're talking about possibly doing a live podcast there before the show.
That'd be
Oh,
badass.
that would be awesome.
That would be badass. I'll have to show up and watch that shit
I might piss myself.
and heckle you.
I like how showing up to see them play live, what you have and you enjoyed, isn't enough. But I'm gonna show up and piss you off. Would be your reason for going,
Heckle you.
which will piss me off.
Right.
Fuck that guy. He's not a part of the band.
Get them.
Get him off the stage.
It's inevitably going to lead to me embarrassing myself on stage with
Yeah.
the band at some
You
point.
do it every Thursday on our stage. It's fine. All right, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the show. And if you didn't, just an hour and a half, so it's on you. And until next time, continue to fear regularly scheduled hostilities.